Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I'm your host. Whoa, I'm close. Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And today, I am broadcasting live from a new location, live and on the scene. What I need to do is adjust a couple things because I'm not ready. I apologize. I am so far from ready to do this. Let me back this up. There is likely some sort of echo happening. So I apologize profusely for that. If there is, I am working on it. I need to, I'm gonna take you guys on a tour real quick in just a second. So I'll tell you what's in the barrel. I'll show you everything. But this is my new office. I need to put up some soundproofing panels once I get everything kind of moved in. Yeah, it's great. It's nutty. It's wild. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do the camera tour of it in just a minute. So, yeah, let's take a look, right? Let's take a look. So this is obviously me, looking a little haggard probably because I've been moving for days. We'll go around this way. How do I do this and not be stupid? So there's the shelf for Warhammer books. Whiskey will probably not be on there as much, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then if you go around, you can see this is like a little library in here. We've got some pool sticks over there because I got a pool table. We've got the vault door. So I am inside a vault. That latch lets me out in case my kids decide to come lock me in. And as we go around, we've got more bookshelves. And then, hold on. We'll go back this way so I don't twist up the cable. This is the present Lady Rackets got me. I mentioned it on the Chad Dad stream on Friday. Let me see if I can move this stupid mic and show you the inside. So, it is not full right now. However, as you can see, there is rotating whiskey down here. Whoa. Ah! Oh, oversight. This is a tall bottle. But there are rotating glasses up here. So apparently I can't have that bottle of Rabbit Hole rotate around. But we'll figure that out. Still getting used to all of it. So that is what's in the barrel. It is a genuine bourbon barrel. Bourbon was aged in there. So that is, and we had a friend of ours who owns a wood shop. He and his staff custom did that. So it's awesome. Lots of fun. Speaking of Rabbit Hole whiskey, I haven't had whiskey in days, and we're going to start tonight. So, yeah, still moving, still getting things set up, but here we are tonight. And I know a couple chats have come through, and I know I don't have anything in this giant space next to me. I've got to get the documents. I'm behind, guys. I'm sorry. I've been running and working all day with kids. So let me read through these chats and then I'll grab the documents and we can chat a little bit about what is happened in general. So the first one was from Mithran Emrys. Finished my Property 1 and Evidence finals. Don't feel like I totally screwed them up. Now only con law to go on Friday, and I am done for another semester. Woo! Good job, buddy. Best of luck to you. Hopefully you got them good. If you don't feel like you screwed up, you probably didn't. And yeah, I hope everything turns well. Let us know. Let us know if you get kicked out and have to move back in home. Just kidding. I'm kidding. But do let us know. Darkman McEdgeface says, what was that, the sacred power drill of Antioch? Yes. Yes, it is. These bookshelves aren't anchored yet. I feel like I need to adjust the camera or something. This all feels so foreign to me. But yeah, so that is a sacred power drill, which will be used to anchor these bookshelves when I get done. Let me, in the background, find the document we're looking for here. And in the meanwhile, if you guys have anything, feel free to chat. Oh, of course, there are the the normal housekeeping stuff. Of course, you can do the super chat. If you click in the description video window, you could do a justice chat. Either of them will work just fine. Of course, the justice chat gives YouTube less money, and that's really what we're all about here, is giving YouTube less money. So I think it's Young America's Foundation. It's 2016 this was filed. Is this the right one? I think so. Woo! No, this is not it. No. That's UCLA. Oh, it might have been in California Civil Court. Hold on. If it's in California court, that's going to be annoying. Let me see if we've got... Can we open this up? What's going on here? Wow. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can get something. Nope. Going here. What a disaster. What a disaster. Go away, little video thing. If that is coming through, if those ads are coming through, I apologize. And I'm, guys, what's wrong here. What's wrong here is I'm running the show, and if I'm running the show, everything is going catastrophically wrong. Okay, let me see if I can get in this. Secondary monitor. This is gonna work. I doubt it. Yep. Oh, hey, there it is. All right, just a second. Here we go. So for now, let me get these shoes. Okay, so here's a gist of it. UC Berkeley sets landmark free speech lawsuit, will pay $70,000 to conservative group. That's pretty huge news. That is very, actually it's very huge news. It's very huge news. Why is this dummy talking? Shut up. Oh, good face. Good pause. You're welcome. Let's get this amended version of the lawsuit. Why is it such a nightmare to get a document? You think I'd know how to do this by now? Here we go. Oh, look. Yeah. Here we are. This is interesting. Let's pull this thing up. So this is the reason I said, hey, look, is because, oh my God. Someday I'm going to get better at this. The lawyer on this is Harmeet Dillon. And Harmeet Dillon is the lawyer for James Damore. Whee! Okay. All right, let's get... Yes, everything's a disaster. Everything is absolutely terrible. As soon as I get this, I'm going to get this pulled up in my actual thing, my actual Adobe, and this will be much easier to do. And then we'll go through it. So this is going to be a little different than normal because obviously we know what happens in this lawsuit. And that is, that's a little interesting. Okay, go away. Almost there. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm not drinking enough for this. Let me get a go. Let me get go. Get a better go at this. We need to make. We need to fix me. We need to fix me. Okay. Mither and Emrys said, not a concern since I work full time and go to school part time, hence why only 3 classes. Property professor pulled a slick one, gave us facts for a client, and had us draft her will. Had to explain what types of conveyances used, and any issues with the rule against perpetuities. The best part is your property professor doesn't know if there are any issues against with the rule against perpetuities because no one does. Because it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster of a rule, and no one can actually explain it. It should be a game show. Explain the rule against perpetuities. Maybe I'll do a stream on it sometime. You guys will all just hate me. Hopcrop says, if I've never had a day of law school, how many of Nick's streams do I need to watch to pass the bar? Just one. Just one. Actually, after the first stream, you'll know to never pass the bar again. The Rookie Critic, hey, you're a funny lawyer. I'm 3 subs from 300. Well, hey, buddy. Guys, go help out the Rookie Critic if you're interested. Check out his channel. Subscribe to him. Help him get up to 300 and keep moving on. Past 300 would be great. Keck7Go says, good morning, you handsome devil. You looking good in your new compound. Remember to shill your Patreon and advertise how awesome your Discord is. Yes, my Discord is awesome, as always, and it is a reward for the $5 Patreon. Oh, I didn't show you guys my setup, like what I'm looking at here. Let me do that real quick. That'll be fun. Last part of the tour is, this is what I'm looking at. You've, of course, got the main monitor and then the ultra-wide monitor here. So, yeah. Still adjusting things. I don't know if this is how it will finally be. There's a keyboard and a drink, some whiskey, and a level, because tools are always helpful in an office. So, that's what we're looking at here. But, yeah, check out my Patreon. It's right below me here, patreon.com/lawsplaining. And, yeah, the Discord's full of great guys, and we have lots of talks and chats. And tomorrow is a live chat Wednesday, where for a couple hours during the day, usually from 2 to 4 p.m., we do just a live hangout in the Discord for $5 and up Patreons. And then the $5 people can participate by text, and they can listen. And then the 10 and up can actually chat alongside in voice chat. And if you wonder why that is and why the Discord is Patreon only and all that stuff, it's because it keeps it from being really cluttered. We actually are able to have conversations in there, and we don't just have a bunch of random people on random topics who are just tangentially associated with it. So it's a great Discord for that reason. Okay, let's get into the document and see what's going on. Rootless Cosmopolitan, the Commerce Clause, man. I hate it. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Enough lollygagging. You feel like I feel like a Berkeley admin right now, not doing anything important. Just kind of rearranging some things. Again, still getting used to the new setup, so bear with me. All right. So we've got, this was brought in the United States District Court, Northern District of California, San Francisco Division. And, the one thing I can definitely do, we'll cover it at the end. We'll talk about how it turned out because it's pretty interesting. It's very important for how these cases are going forward. So this is Harmeet Dillon. Look at who she's suing. This pile of garbage. Janet Napolitano. Janet Neapolitan ice cream. Oh my gosh. Because that's what you do when you get out of failing at government service. You get put as the president of the university. Good job. Yeah, absolute garbage. She is sued in her capacity as the president of the university. So this is brought on behalf of Young America's Foundation and the Berkeley College Republicans, which I don't know anything about the Berkeley College Republicans. They're probably great as far as college Republicans go, but I have to imagine they're college Republicans that advocate for communism specifically, just because they're in Berkeley. But let's see what we got here. I didn't even know these guys were suing. Did you? Did any of you guys know that this was going on? Now I feel too far away. I'm going to mess around with this until everything is comfortable. I didn't know these guys were actually suing. And so this, finding out that there was a settlement in the matter was actually kind of interesting. I didn't, I had no idea this lawsuit was happening. That's the thing with this field. Like, there's so many lawsuits happening every day, and any of them have the potential to be important. You just can't keep track of all of it unless you read some, like, the news. What's that? Plaintiffs Young America's Foundation and Berkeley College Republicans bring this action against UC Berkeley officials Janet Napolitano, Nicholas Dirks, Stephen C. Sutton, Joseph Greenwell, and University. That's all men. It's all men on the panel. What kind of sexist hive of disgust is UC Berkeley? There are no women on the upper echelons of UC Berkeley. I find that hard to believe, but let's see. They also, and the University of California Police Department officials Margot Bennett, woman, Alex Yeo, androgynous, and Leroy Harris. I don't know if that's a man or a woman either. Of course, I can't decide anymore, because what if I dead name them or whatever? For declaratory and injunctive relief, following defendants' discriminatory application of a policy to restrict conservative speech on the UC Berkeley campus in violation of YAF and BCR's constitutional rights to free speech, due process, and equal protection under the law. Introduction. This case arises from efforts by one of California's leading public universities, UC Berkeley, once known as the birthplace of the free speech movement, because free speech used to be popular. If you remember, when free speech was about promoting the sexual revolution of the 60s, when it was about fighting against the Vietnam War, when it was fighting back against like the traditional values of 50s mainstream America, then free speech was great. But now, when 50s mainstream America wants to come back with some traditional values and some conservative principles, free speech is not so good. Not so good, comrade. You need to go back. Okay, it's okay. You go back into Gulag. It will be fine. We will put you there. You will wait. You will listen. You will listen again. And then you will listen one more time. Then you'll understand. But, so yeah, free speech used to be in vogue in Berkeley and across the nation. Now it is not, because now it was never actually about speech. And that was the hoodwink, right? What we had in the mid to late 60s going into the early 70s was never about speech. It was never about speech. It was about pushing a specific value set. And this is what any proponent of free speech has to constantly be on guard against. Constantly be on guard and be wary that you might be pushing your values under the guise of free speech. And you find that out when you defend the other side. And if you're willing to defend the other side, if you're willing to defend something that disgusts and repulses you, if you're willing to let people say things that you disagree with, if you're willing to let people abuse you. If you're not, you may need to consider your position. And if we all have moments, right, where we might think about going against those principles. But if you're making a principled approach, be on guard for it. Because they weren't. They weren't making a principled approach. And many people still aren't. To restrict and stifle the speech of conservative students whose voices fall beyond the campus political orthodoxy. Though UC Berkeley promises its student an environment that promotes free debate and the free exchange of ideas, it has breached this promise through the repressive actions of university administrators and campus police, who have systematically and intentionally suppressed constitutionally protected expression by plaintiffs and the many UC Berkeley students whose political viewpoints align with plaintiffs, simply because that expression may anger or offend students, UC Berkeley administrators, and or community members who do not share plaintiffs' viewpoints. Those three groups aren't even people, so I don't know why we're concerned about them being offended. Oh, I think I missed a chat. Hold on one second. Mithrin Emrys, you can't be a Berkeley admin. You aren't collecting $500,000 for screwing things up or doing absolutely nothing. You actually contribute to society. Well, thank you. Thank you. We'll contribute some jokes about Butch Napolitano or something. I haven't seen Janet Napolitano in years. All I remember is thinking, that dude's ugly. Okay. Hopefully I'm not offending the UC Berkeley administrators. Wouldn't want to do that. Defendants engage in a pattern and practice of enforcing a recently adopted unwritten and unpublished policy that vests in university officials the unfettered discretion to unreasonably restrict the time, place, and manner of any campus event involving, quote, high-profile speakers. A term that is wholly undefined and that has enabled defendants to apply this policy in a discriminatory fashion, resulting in the marginalization of the expression of conservative viewpoints on campus by any notable conservative speaker. Defendants freely admit that they have permitted the demands of faceless, rabid, off-campus mob to dictate what speech is permitted at the center of campus during prime time, and which speech may be marginalized, burdened, and regulated out of its very existence by this unlawful Hecklers veto. Watch out for the Hecklers veto, not enumerated in the Constitution. Darking D, I'm willing to let people make porn in which men eat the toe jam of giant women while being crushed underfoot and eaten. I assure you there's nothing disgusting enough to make me not defend it. I don't know. We can get Tito on the case. We'll let him tell you his fetishes, and then we'll see if you'll defend that. Or if you'll just defend bullets. You'll just defend bullets. Hey, what's up, Jacob B? Okay, defendants discriminatory. So here's what they were doing. Like, this is the amazing thing. So they have an unwritten rule, but it says basically when a high-profile speaker, and we'll know them when we see them, right? This is UC Berkeley. You can imagine the speakers that show up. This is a top-tier institution on the left coast. I'm sure they have wildly successful and influential people speaking at UC Berkeley with regularity. Then along comes a weird, 3,500-year-old necromancer named Coulter, and along comes a super flamboyant gay named Milo Yiannopoulos, or a little unimposing Jewish man who talks too fast named Ben Shapiro, and suddenly those people have to be pushed to the side. Those people can't be during prime time. They have a 3 p.m. curfew. We're going to talk about that in a minute. They have to pay for their own security. They get all this special treatment, right? This special handling for the high-profile speakers. Now, you can have any number of influential speakers on the left come to Berkeley and not have to deal with that. But these certain popular conservative pundits come out and they're not allowed. Gamble NC, I am drinking Rabbit Hole Rye Whiskey. Rabbit Hole Rye Whiskey. Okay. So let's get back to this. Defendants' discriminatory imposition of curfew and venue restrictions has resulted in the cancellation of 2 speaking engagements featuring prominent conservative speakers in the month of April 2017. First, BCR was forced to cancel a scheduled April 12, 2017 speaking engagement by David Horowitz, a widely acclaimed conservative writer, after the university first demanded that Horowitz speak before 3 p.m. in the afternoon, at a time when students are in class and most are unable to attend, and then demanded that the speech take place in a room on a separate campus that is more than 1 mile from the main campus center, so far away, in fact, that it even has its own track facilities, which is kind of like, it's just a mile, right? Like, run there, lazy. And I'm talking about the track people. I'm not talking about, like, David Horowitz. I'm pretty sure, is he a fat guy? I don't know if he could make the mile. But the track guys, that's what I'm talking about. If you want to go to track, and gals, women run track too. Nope, don't tell that joke on stream. Okay, I'll save that one for Stream Me. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go run on the track, just add a mile each way, cowards. Then, less than 2 weeks later, after weeks of discussion, the university unilaterally canceled a speaking engagement by Ann Coulter, a nationally renowned New York Times bestselling author and conservative political commentator, which was previously scheduled to take place on campus on April 27th, 2017. And I have nothing against Ann Coulter, by the way. I find her to be wildly entertaining. Even when she's hilariously wrong about things, she's still good. She's sharp, quick-witted, and that's all respectable qualities in an entertainer. In the ensuing national firestorm of criticism, the university partially retracted its cancellation of the Coulter event, offering to allow Ms. Coulter to speak the following week on May 2nd during a period referred to by the university as a dead week, in which no classes are held and far fewer students are on campus due to final exams the week following, but still insisted that the event would be subject to a 3 p.m. curfew and unspecified venue restrictions. Meanwhile, defendants freely permitted the expression of non-conservative viewpoints by notable liberal speakers who, addressing the same contentious topics Ms. Coulter planned to address, illegal immigration, during the same month, including Vicente Fox Quesadilla, the former president of Mexico, and Maria Echaveste, a former presidential advisor and White House deputy chief of staff to President Bill Clinton. All right. Hey there, Maria. Why don't you be a dog? Go get me a couple of them cigars. Keck7Go says, I always thought free speech was the greatest weapon and equalizer, just like the actual Second Amendment and gun is for women against men in the USA to combat oppressive traditionalist values for unpopular values. No, now it's them oppressing tradition. Yeah, they forgot. They forgot what they had to fight against. They forgot what they're... See, this is the thing, guys. One side can be wrong. Someone can be wrong. For years, slavery was wrong, right? Like, we all, well, maybe not all of us, but most people out there would suggest that the forceful taking of someone, moving them against their will, and then the utter ownership of their lives is probably not an ideal circumstance. And it's not an institution we should support. That's the overwhelming majority of people would be opposed to that type of slavery. I'm not talking about like some hyperbolic, the minimum wage is slavery. I'm talking about actual literal slavery where you own someone, you owned their agency. They did not have a will of their own. They didn't have the ability to own property or voice their opinions or anything. They just did what someone else told them through no choice of their own. We're mostly opposed to that, right? So even though we did that for years and years and years, we wouldn't suddenly say, well, I mean, we were opposed to it, and now what we want to do is just switch the roles and enslave the white guys I mean, some people do want to do that, unironically do want to do that. But for the most part, we wouldn't do that as a society. However, when we're not so extreme as slavery, when we're not so extreme as like permissive rape or these other types of really, really heavy topics, when we're just dealing with the unimportant things like speaking your mind and not having to have your life destroyed for what your speech contains, when we're just there, that's where people are willing to immediately reverse course. Like, finally, we got past all these traditional values. Now, I definitely don't want them going back. So all of the things I said last week are no longer valid when it comes to my point, because my point is the correct one. But, I mean, like making people wear seatbelts. Yeah. Yes. Okay. By imposing an unconstitutionally vague policy concerning so-called high-profile speakers and selectively applying that impermissibly vague policy. Now, look at all these adverbs. To burden or ban speaking engagements involving the expression of conservative viewpoints, defendants have deprived Young America's Foundation and BCR, the Berkeley College Republicans, of their constitutional rights to free speech, due process, and equal protection. Accordingly, Yaff and Bricker seek temporary and permanent injunctive relief to prevent defendants from continuing to muzzle plaintiffs' constitutionally protected speech and to enjoin the defendants' transparent attempts to stifle political discourse at UC Berkeley. Plaintiffs also seek damages from each defendant sued in his or her individual capacity. So this is a government action. UC Berkeley is part of the California public university system, highly acclaimed public university system in California. So the actors involved are state actors. We can tell that this is because this action arises under 42 U.S.C. 1983 in relation to defendants' deprivation of free speech, due process, and equal protection rights under the First and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Accordingly, this court has federal question jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1331 and 1343. But, so this is actually brought against the college in its capacity as a state actor, not as a private institution. Were UC Berkeley replaced with an institution like Harvard or Yale that are public institutions or private institutions, we might have a very different case going on here. We would definitely have a very different case going on here. I apologize. I apologize for drinking on stream. Drinking the non-liquor. I don't apologize for drinking liquor. I apologize for drinking the non-liquor because I'm thirsty and sometimes it's loud in the microphone. I think someone complained about that. So instead they want me to dehydrate and look like Ann Coulter. Do you think it's time to create a new organization to replace the ACLU as defender of the First Amendment and other enumerated rights? I think the ACLU needs to be shot into the sun, to be honest, right now. Where are they? Where are they going? They did the right thing, protecting the protesters or whatever organizers of Charlottesville, and then the backlash from that was bad, and I think they got scared, and now they're just hiding away. Which it's a weird thing to do. ACLU, what civil liberties do you care about? Do you care about all civil liberties or a focused amount? That's the question they have to answer. So we'll see. All right, so I'm not going to read the rest of jurisdiction. This is brought under 1983. A 1983 claim is what you do when a government actor, some agent of the state, has deprived you of your civil rights under color of law, or not necessarily law, but ordinance or policy or authority. So when someone enacts their authority over you in their capacity as a state actor, and it deprives you of a civil right, you have a potential 1983 action. So that's where we are. Rick Nikita says, I'm glad to see you got internet to your computer. Yeah, it's literally a 50-foot Cat 6 cable running through the floors of my house like some sort of degenerate. Like some sort of homeless man. I have my Ethernet cable running through multiple doors across the floor of my house. Like a homeless person through my house. That's how it is. But I'm hoping to get a actual expert to come in. Because, guys, do you know it's hard to get internet into a vault? I wasn't thinking about that when I bought the house. I was just very excited to have my office in a vault behind a safe door and everything, that I forgot that there were realities to address, like actually getting the internet into it. But so, there you go. And then Mithran Emmer says, fun fact for you, it is cheaper for Cali natives to attend school out of state in Nevada, New Mexico, or Arizona than it is for them to attend in-state at Berkeley, or Berkeley. I like Berkeley, UCLA, and most other state schools. Yeah, I think that might be true in Minnesota too. We have a reciprocity agreement which gives you in-state tuition to the surrounding states around Minnesota. So I think like NDSU in North Dakota might actually be cheaper than U of M and stuff like that. And the University of Iowa may be cheaper, but no one would ever find out. Mithran Emrys says also Title 6 and 9 mean that private schools that accept college loan money have to follow many of the same rules as public schools do. It's why you have the Asians suing Harvard for discriminatory admission policies. Right. Harvard hates Asians. I mean, we know that. Well, fine. So homeless people don't have cables or houses. All right. Well, here we go. It's like your line of cocaine going through 3 refrigerator boxes. That's my homeless analogy for Ethernet. Cocaine's probably too expensive. My line of heavily cut rat poison infested cocaine. Intradistrict assignment. This action is properly assigned to San Francisco or Oakland divisions of the court as the conduct giving rise to this dispute occurred in Alameda County, California. Parties. Do we care about these parties? Not really. I don't think so. No, this is so boring. This is boring. Let's see. Defendant Janet Napolitano, as the president of the University of California. According to UC Board of Regents Standing Order 100, the president shall be the executive head of the university and shall have full authority and responsibility over the administration of all affairs and operations of the university. Napolitano ultimately is responsible for all policies enacted and enforced at UC Berkeley, including the policies challenged herein. That's not right. Acted under color of state law and is sued in her official capacity. Are those weird typos? Very weird typos. Relevant facts. UC Berkeley is a public university created by the state of California in 1868 and governed by the right after the Civil War, and governed by the Regents of the University of California, a California corporation charged with the administration of the University of California as a public trust. UC Berkeley is the oldest of California's public research universities and is considered by many to be the most prestigious public university in the United States. Okay. Good job. I'm not a downtrodden Mr. Monopoly Man. I'm a very uptrodden. Dude, why did you mention ice cream? Oh my God. That's not right, man. I can't have ice cream till the stream's over. These relevant facts are really boring on the whole gosh. Yeah, they have authority. Yeah. All right, let's talk about these speaking engagements. Mithrin Emrys says, Xi acted in sure official capacity. Yeah, there you go. You got to stream in 10 minutes. I will actually, I didn't have time to set it up to do a 1080 stream tonight, but I will be doing that starting tomorrow. I need better lighting. I look too white. Yeah, it's, I got to get some front-facing lights. I'll work on that too. I'll work on that too. Okay. For over a century, UC Berkeley has been a campus well known for its tolerance of various viewpoints. Its welcoming atmosphere, however, has become distinctly more hostile to conservative views in recent years. A trend that accelerated after the 2016 presidential election. So, good job, Trump. You ruined Berkeley. Andrew Gluck says, I stream, you stream, we all stream for ice cream. Yes. Yes, we do. Prior to February 1st, 2017, BCR invited and acquired all necessary approval from appropriate UC Berkeley administrators to host a speaking engagement featuring Milo Yiannopoulos, a contentious conservative writer, speaker, and former senior editor of Breitbart News. Isn't he, not a slight to Milo, but isn't he a former writer, speaker, former speaker, and former senior editor? Because isn't he like out of work and broke? Didn't that happen? Didn't that happen to Milo? I know he wasn't doing well. Or he was begging or whatever. I don't remember. It's really weird and sad. Because Milo was talking about how like he can't afford $200 dinners anymore. It really was lovely, darling. But not anymore, apparently. I don't know. So I've got a little bit of this Hennessy white cognac left. And I'm going to drink some of that now. Because this is good stuff, and I haven't had any in a long time. $2 million in debt? Get good, buddy. Kanye's got you wrapped up. Kanye's like, what, 50? Mithrin Emrys says, supposedly he is filing bankruptcy. That Hennessy White, that's good stuff. Is that ironically named? I don't know. Guys, I have to pause the program. Because there's something going on. It was brought to my attention today. And this is very, very important. I'm here. I'm here on behalf of me. I'm going to start doing something because we need to do something about this problem. The problem is not enough attention is being paid to me, and I'm here to raise awareness. I'm here to raise awareness for this problem. So this is the premiere of the Rekieta Law advertisements where we're raising awareness for Rekieta Law. We're trying to solve the Rekieta Law issue. And to do that, we will be raising awareness for Rekieta Law so that everyone knows about Rekieta Law. So what I'm going to need you to do is go ahead and make sure that people are aware of Rekieta Law because we need to make America aware of this problem. It's a growing problem. It's a problem I don't see going away. We definitely don't want to fix this problem. Not at all. Because we're an organization that cares. And organizations that care don't fix problems. We just talk about them as much as possible. We're in an race for the cure here, people. We're not in a race for the cure, because a race for the cure would be infringing on the trademark of the Susan B. Komen Foundation. We can't race for the cure, but we are in an race for the cure. So we're going to race for the cure to America's ill of not knowing about Rekieta Law. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. There's more to come. Maybe we'll get some green ribbons or something. I'll get some sad music, maybe. And we'll play it over like starving children or black people getting shot by police or something. Some nice background that we can play some sad music to and talk about not enough people knowing about Rekieta Law. Empty whiskey bottles, just like a graveyard of empty whiskey bottles. And we'll draw as much attention as possible to Rekieta Law. So if you guys could help me out with that, we're going to erase for the cure to America's ills, which is not enough Rekieta Law in their lives. And thank you. That's all I have to say. This was a word from me, and God bless. God bless. I'm sorry. I can't. I was on Twitter today, and we were talking about. It was a conversation I think that started with like rape culture and this Me Too movement, and the conversation shifted to partly due to me talking about how these people, these organizations don't actually want to solve the problems that they set out to solve, because if you solve them, you lose all the money and attention and power and visibility. You lose that all if you solve it. So there are organizations like Susan B. Komen who spend and raise millions of dollars on pink shoes for football players and stuff that no one cares about, to bring attention to breast cancer research. They don't ever solve breast cancer. They don't really spend much money. They spend more money litigating on Race for the Cure than they do on donations to breast cancer research facilities, and it's really shameful. So yeah, it was a joke. Although I do think some Rekieta Law merch is on the works. I found out that Streamlabs has a Rekieta, or has it? Yes, they have a Rekieta Law merchandise shop. No, they have a merchandise shop right on Streamlabs, and so it's really easy for me to start creating some like mugs. Mugs are cool, and shirts and stuff like that. And Streamlabs will handle all the shipping and stuff. So I hope you guys are interested in that. Maybe we'll make like an race for the cure or something. Can you have an racist? Like they don't like real life, they just like internet stuff. Okay. Super Iron. Oh wait, no. Siren Jag says, and you can't have your ice cream without Cool Whip. I don't like Cool Whip very much. Super Iron Bob says, have your darned attention. Darking D says, man, speaking of 200 dinners, I went to the Mahogany Prime for my birthday. Their Omaha location is the best effing restaurant I've ever had. Perfect steak, excellent service, great ambiance. If you ever have the chance, don't miss it. I don't go through Omaha often, but when I do next time, I will definitely stop at the Mahogany Prime because it also overlaps with my favorite James Woods movie, which is John Carpenter's Vampires. Mithran Emmer says, so tell them about your channel, Legal Eagle. Okay. No, Legal Eagle is not okay, and he is not my channel. Don't you dare. Landon Mag and James, sorry, I'm late, Nick. As Rekieta Law anime expert, you can cut some of my paycheck. Now I should go to my duties of recommending Sit Tight Nick fans. There you go. And then Darkman McEdgeface, may we bask in the drill's glory once again. I mean, I guess. Guys, this is in loving memory of Sarah Palin. May we all miss and respect Drill Baby Drill. There you go. All right. Sorry. This is a distraction. Cause guys, like, okay, let's take it. Berkeley got beaten by the likes of Ben Shapiro and Ann Coulter. I was going to say Berkeley is by far the oldest party here, but Ann Coulter, I think, is older than Berkeley. But Berkeley got beaten by a bunch of college Republicans. College Republicans defeated UC Berkeley. That's crazy. That's crazy. And not only did they defeat them, like, you guys have seen Bloodsport, right? It's not just beating Chong Li. You have to make him say mate. You have to make the Chinese man doing Thai kickboxing say mate. That's what you have to do. And that's what they did. Berkeley said uncle and paid out like 70 grand and is revising their policies. Berkeley got blown out. What a great day. What a great day. Did you remove RoboCop's helmet? Friends call me Murphy. You can call me RoboCop. All right. Back to the document. Oh, Warski versus Tonka, guys. Warski versus Tonka. Just a brief aside. No promises. No promises. But I'm in talks. I'm in talks to get to Knoxville, Tennessee for the fight. I've got most of the hurdles out of the way. I'm arranging transportation. As soon as I have transportation locked down and confirmed, I will let you guys know. But I believe I will be at the Warski Tonka fight. I will hopefully be streaming from somewhere at least around the event. Lady Rackets will be with me. If any of you guys are going to Knoxville to watch two internet gentlemen, we'll call them, have an autistic real life fight, please keep in touch and let me know. If you're going to be there, I will be there. I will be there. And I would love to hang out with anybody else who is there. Lady Rackets and I will be doing that. I know a couple of people from my Discord are going. So yeah. I mean, how great is it when two internet people get together and agree to pummel each other in the most, in the least trained way we can all imagine? That'll be great. Gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah, if you're gonna go, you know, I'll announce it if I'm actually going to get to go. But I've passed the hurdles, and the main hurdles are getting babysitters for children, right? Of course, I really want to go. I love fighting. Fighting's like one of my favorite hobbies. Hopcrop says, hello, my name is Nick Rekieta, and I would like to give my full enthusiastic endorsement to my favorite YouTube law channel, Legal Eagle. No! I've been swindled. Oh, no. Mithrin Emrys says, but Donga say he no interwebs peoples. Sure, yeah. D something. I don't know who I'm betting on. Here's the thing. I've never interacted with Tonka. I know nothing about him. I've mildly interacted with Andy Warski. He seems like a nice guy. Funny guy. So I guess I default to Warski. But I gotta say, if Tonka happens to land that like one opening haymaker and one shots Warski, that'd be a little amazing in a weird way. So I really want to find out. I want to see. I just want to see. Darking D says, I definitely won't be there, but get it moved to Omaha and I'll drive up and take you and Lady out for steak. I appreciate it. But I don't think I can get them to move it to Omaha. All right, let's get back to the document. Oh, I'm not going to bring the kids so they can learn to fight. That's the opposite of what you do, is bring them to an internet e-celeb fight if you want to teach your kids how to actually fight. Okay. All right, we're back to Milo. So former senior editor of Breitbart News and now bankrupt, sad has-been. And he is sad because Milo's a very funny and talented person. Shouldn't be going broke, but that's what happens, I guess. The event was scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. in Pauley Ballroom on the UC Berkeley campus, a venue more than large enough to accommodate the expected sellout crowd of 500 attendees. I thought we didn't like sellouts. I guess I grew up too punk rock. The event was widely publicized in the San Francisco Bay Area. Joke. That's the joke. In the hours leading up to the Milo event, dozens of black-clad masked agitators and demonstrators, self-styled Antifa, short for anti-fascist, in case the judge is literally dead on the stand and doesn't know what's going on in the world, appearing to act in concert, set fires and threw objects at buildings in downtown Berkeley near the campus to protest Milo Yiannopoulos' appearance. While UCPD was present on the scene, few arrests were made, and all police officers, including both UCPD and Berkeley City Police, appeared to obey a stand-down order that required the officers not to intervene. I think that should say to not intervene, or make arrests in the many physical altercations that occurred between the violent mob and those seeking to attend the Milo event. If only we knew about the stand-down order, right? And you could just wreck people with impunity. Landon Magan James says, "Is your new place Mealy as FUK Nick Daddy?" My new place is Mealy in the best way. It really is terrific. In a subsequent meeting between BCR representatives, including BCR member Nawid Tamas, Lieutenant Harris, and UC Berkeley Administrator Millicent Morris Cheney, Ms. Cheney, UCPD informed BCR that it was UCPD policy not to intervene in any non-life-threatening situations during the commission of a riot or violent demonstration, such as the violent protests surrounding the canceled Milo event. In other words, UCPD has an official stand-down policy for any altercation it witnessed on campus that does not involve the imminent loss of life. Well, there you go, guys. Just get enough people pummeling people and you're fine. At approximately 6 p.m. on February 1, the university administration announced that the Milo event was canceled, which, mind-blowingly dumb. You've already undergone the damage, the cost, the stress, the nuttiness of these people, and then you gave in. If you let the event run, the chances that the same number and intensity of protesters will occur the second time goes down. Let the event run, you idiots. But that's not what it's about, is it? That's not what it's about. It's not about the protests. Protests are an excuse. Protests are an excuse for the Napolitanos of the world to impose their will on the people. Mithran Emmer says to not intervene splits the infinitive. You split your infinitive. Bagel Goose says, everyone subscribe to the best YouTube channel. No! Best YouTube legal channel, Legal Eagle. No, don't. Don't. You'll be bored. You'll be bored to tears. Oh, gosh. You know what he would say about this? He wouldn't say anything about this because he's boring. By the way, Legal Eagle, if you're watching, you want to come on my show, you're welcome to. Bring it, buddy. Come on, let's talk about stuff. I want you to talk about your litigation. I don't want you to give like these lukewarm opinions because you're scared that your side business that's actually promoting your channel that you don't really disclose to YouTube. I don't want you to temper your experience and your stories based on the fact that all you're doing is running a giant ad for how to get an A in law school. Here's how you get an A in law school. Don't do anything else. Just do law school. And do it hard. Do it as hard as you can. Do it like you're getting paid. The drill we'll do later. Tell me more about legal. No! Listen, here's what I can tell you guys about how to get away with murder. This is a real lawyer reaction. Whoa. Having law students present at a client interview in a murder trial? That's way above that. This destroys attorney-client privilege. This would not be allowed. Not recommended. Maybe a violation of ethics. Well, yeah. All right. At approximately 6... Oh, yeah, it was canceled. And as a result, the violent demonstration instituted a nearly campus-wide lockdown that was not lifted until approximately 10:55 p.m. on the same evening. UC Berkeley surreptitiously adopts unwritten policy regarding high-profile speakers. Surreptitiously. On or around March 1st, 2017, university administration officials, including UC Berkeley administrators and members of UCPD, met with officials from the City of Berkeley Mayor's Office and the Berkeley Police Department to discuss adopting a new policy that would impose more stringent restrictions on events involving high-profile speakers, the high-profile speaker policy. Acronym that thing, Harmeet. This unwritten policy ostensibly restricts the time and place of all events that occur involving high-profile speakers. Specifically, these events must conclude by 3 p.m., described by university administrators as a curfew, and must be held in a secure-able location, also an undefined term. Neither the university nor defendants have set forth the exact nature and scope of the high-profile speaker policy, despite requests from BCR, and have failed to provide any criteria making clear who is considered a high-profile speaker under the policy, to whom this policy has been applied since its formation, or what, if anything, renders a particular venue on the UC Berkeley campus securable. The policy is both amorphous and infinitely malleable. Tillip says, OFC, you grew up punk. It's why you love death grips. Yeah, that must be the reason. That must be the reason. Was that an impression of what? I don't remember. There's a delay, so I don't know what impression you were doing. Brad Noble. No, don't disavow. Brad. You missed the beginning. Okay. When I did this first time, there's like 150 people watching because I just started. There's now 350 people watching. Briefly, Lady Rackets got me a gift for birthday and Christmas because my birthday is coming up in like a couple days. Just under 2 weeks. And so she got me a gift, okay? It's behind me. You can't see it. Brad Noble. This, let me make sure. Okay. This is a barrel. Right? There's a bourbon barrel back here. Here we go. Now if I open it, yes. We've got glasses up top. We've got whiskey down below. So don't worry. Do not disavow. The whiskey is migrated. Actually, most of the whiskey bottles are still at my old house and need to be brought back over, or need to be brought over to this place. But yeah, they will go in there. And Scalia is still at the old house. But Scalia lives on in our hearts. What happened to my actual wedding ring? It's upstairs. It's in a container in my room. Excuse me. So yeah, that's where the booze, it is just relocated. Don't worry, the shelf will be stocked with, I got a big pile of Warhammer books over there. And there's a couple more at the old house still. So I'm getting there. All right. Humongous. Oh, it was full of bourbon. No, it wasn't full of bourbon. Okay. Ryan English says, towards a full-size Scalia glam poster for that white wall. No, there's actually a plan for this white wall, and it will be awesome. We'll have a proper backdrop for the show, and it'll be great. It'll be great. So don't worry, although the donation to that is very much appreciated. Landon James says, does Legal Eagle like anime? I'll gladly get with this guy and ruin his life with animeism. Make this guy less of a boring cuck. Just need one weekend. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. All right. No, Hamilton Burger, I don't think I was doing an impression. But I was wondering, would it be interesting ever to read these like in a radio voice? God, that'd be annoying, wouldn't it? I could do a radio voice, but I don't want to do that. You'll hate it. I would think. I would hate it. On April 19th, 2017, several weeks after the high-profile speaker policy apparently was adopted, in an email sent to BCR member Naweed Tomas, copying Captain Yale, UCPD Patrol Lieutenant Harris stated that at the March 1 meeting, University, UCPD, City of Berkeley, and Berkeley PD, quote, agreed that all events involving high-profile sick speakers be conducted during daytime hours. Lieutenant Harris's email does not explain or give guidance concerning what distinguishes a high-profile speaker from a non-high-profile speaker, what hours during the day a high-profile speaker may speak on campus, or what venues would be made available for such speakers. A true and correct copy of this email with personal contact information redacted, aw, no fun, is attached here to as Exhibit B. All right, it says Bagel Goose says Virgin Nikki Rackets. I think that's a less than arrow. Less than Chad Legal Eagle. Not true. Guys, do you want me to fight Legal Eagle? Is that what I have to do? Do I have to fist fight this guy? We have to throw that on the undercard in Knoxville? I think he's over on the East Coast. We'll do it. Come on, Legal Eagle. See these hands? You see these hands? You pile of trash? You piece of garbage? You want to throw hands? Dom All says, what do we need to do to restore our Second Amendment rights? Oh, buddy, I don't know. You have to find the source of infant blood that Ginsburg is using to stay alive. And you got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of it. Mithra Nimmer says, plan equals fake law books to look pretentious. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll fight him. We'll fight Legal Eagle. That's my persona, you scumbag. I'm the eagle. Could I announce it? Could I do my own ring announcement? Coming to you live from Knoxville, Tennessee, we've got a fight of the century with Legal Eagle fighting Rekieta Law out of Minnesota. Legal Eagle has a significant age advantage, being approximately 65 years old, although he dyes his hair to make himself look a little younger. Oh, should be a good fight. Early haymakers from the Legal Eagle, gassing himself out immediately. Nick Rekieta moves into a rear naked choke to make fun of him for being effeminate. Just kidding. I'd make it a rear naked choke in the true literal sense. I would choke him so hard his clothes fell off. I'm pretty sure that's a Rule 34 thing. That's already happened. UC Berkeley's high-profile speaker policy was not made known to BCRYAF or the general student body at the time of its adoption on or around March 1st, 2017, or for several weeks thereafter. Ringside announcing. He does not look bigger than me. Come on. That guy's tiny. Is he in California? I thought he was East Coast. Maybe he went to school on the East Coast. UC Berkeley applies a secret high-profile speaker policy to cancel the David Horowitz events. Is David Horowitz a high-profile speaker? Let me look. David Horowitz. What do we got here? Oh, God. David. Talk to Legal Eagle about looking younger than 70. Where'd my... I ruined my windows. Here we go. Mithrin Emrys says, three-way dance, French versus Rackets versus Eagle. Oh, no. I think one of those three might be into it. UC Berkeley applies the secret high-profile speaker policy to cancel the David Horowitz event. In February or early March 2017, BCR began organizing events on the UC Berkeley campus with the goal of offering prominent conservative speakers the opportunity to express conservative viewpoints and to engage in a dialogue with UC Berkeley students and the public about those viewpoints. That's the Republicans did. The Republicans. Their efforts included BCR contacting YAF to request that YAF sponsor such an event. That's Young America's Foundation. By providing funding and logistical assistance, and by recruiting a conservative speaker. As a result of these efforts, BCR and YAF invited David Borowitz, a prominent conservative writer and frequent speaker on college campuses for decades. Man, if you've been a speaker for decades, plural, I don't know. I don't know if I want to hear you. I don't know. I don't want to hear decades old conservative talking points. If I want that, I just go listen to Rush, right? If I want decades old conservative talking points, I just find the guy who does it better than everybody else, and that'd be Rush. I don't want David Horowitz. Get some young people. I don't know. By the way, UC Berkeley, college Republicans, if you want me to come make fun of you, I'll do that live. Pay me tens of thousands of dollars for a speaking fee. Goodness gracious. In mid-April 2017, the Horowitz event. The Horowitz event sounded like it happened in 1943. On March 23rd, 2017, BCR met with university administrators and UCPD to discuss event logistics and security. Citing undefined security or safety concerns, UCPD rejected BCR's request that the event be held in room 100 of the Genetics and Plant Biology building on the central UC Berkeley campus. Bagel Goose says, Virgin within the law, Macaw versus Chad Legal Eagle. Wait a minute. Don't you dare call me a macaw. Mr. Matt Neo says Horowitz was also a communist back in the 1960s and was in contact with Soviet intelligence. Okay. I don't know. I'll take your word for it. I have no idea. I don't care about David Horowitz. How boring is that guy? Let's see. He's so engaging there, and I'm speaking in the biology building. In an email commemorating the meeting, Miss Cheney, not to be confused with Miss Dick Cheney, a student organization coordinator for UC Berkeley, informed BCR that 100 GPB was, quote, not an adequate venue to ensure Mr. Horowitz's safety, and therefore the campus will seek an alternative room in Alaska to 100 GPB, but ask for flexibility with the start and end times and days of the week so an appropriate venue can be identified before moving forward on the event plans. Because what you want to do is you want to get someone locked into event plans, especially like a prominent speaker who might be showing up on news stations and stuff like that all over the country. What you want to do is have vague start and end times so they can't actually put it in their schedule before you go ahead and plan the event. That's fine. I'm sure you can schedule Mr. Horowitz out around 2029. Example, would any time Tuesday 4/11 between noon or to 6 or Wednesday 4/12 between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. work? And ask that a representative BCR be available for a follow-up conference call with UCPD. Landon McAjames says, Nick is 6'3", I'm 6'6", let's tag team these, please. Yeah, buddy. We'll throw that legal. You know that guy's he's a little manlet. I'm coming for you, legal. We're going to start a law fight. Maybe I should start reviewing Legal Eagles videos and just calling them garbage. Real lawyer reacts to fake real lawyers videos. Real lawyer reacts to real lawyer reacts. In March 28, 2017, email Lieutenant Harris of the UCPD emailed BCR inquiring if BCR had contacted YAF to determine the flexibility of lecture times and contact person to discuss Mr. Horowitz's security requirements. BCR responded to Lieutenant Harris's inquiry the same day, confirming the April 12, 2017, 4 to 6 p.m. time for the event. On March 29, 2017, BCR again contacted the university to secure a room from 4 to 6 p.m. on April 12th for the Horowitz event. Marissa Reynoso, director of the UC Berkeley Student Organization Advising and Leadership Development, that's too long of a title, she doesn't do anything important at all, stated that she was trying to get an update and apologized for the delay. Look, I'm trying to get an update. Well, who from? Who from? Yeah, I'll hold. Clay, Legal Eagle did not make you a mod on his page. Don't lie to me. You're a mod on my page. What are the rules to law fight? Well, actually what we do is spend like 3.5 months hammering out the details, and right before the fight, we settle it and decide to go home. Oh, and we both get paid for it. The following day, March 30th, UCPD's Captain Yale and University Administration informed BCR that the Mr. Horowitz could not speak past 3 p.m. He's now the Mr. Horowitz due to purported security reasons. UCPD also strongly suggested that BCR and YAF limit attendance at the Horowitz event to students only, and further strongly recommended that organizers not release the location of speech to attendees until hours before the event itself, because this is how you properly get lots of people to come and pay. At no time did the defendants disclose to BCR and YAF that it was enforcing the high-profile speaker policy in connection with the Horowitz event. Evidently, however, the university's earlier requested flexibility was more than a request. It was a mandate enforced pursuant to the unwritten high-profile speaker policy. On April 6, 2017, Stephen Sutton, UC Berkeley interim vice chancellor for the Division of Student Affairs, entered the conversation, informed BCR member Brandon West and Mr. Horowitz that the Horowitz event must be held more than 1 mile from the center of the UC Berkeley campus at the Clark Kerr Crutch Theater. Good thing Clark's first name wasn't Clark with a K. And that it must start by 1 p.m., stating in relevant part, in the wake of events surrounding the canceled appearance by Milo Yiannopoulos, law enforcement professionals, UCPD, conducted a comprehensive review of the event's advanced planning, security arrangements, and logistical details. Among the findings were 2 key points. The timing of an event, as well the location and nature of the venue, can play an important role when it comes to the safety and security of the speaker, attendees, and individuals engaged in lawful protest. For that reason, UCPD has recommended that your upcoming speaking engagement be held at 1 p.m. in the Crutch Theater. These recommendations are based solely and exclusively on UPD's objective analysis of how best to mitigate risk, ensure safety for all, and maximize the chances that the event will take place as planned. In that context, the campus greatly appreciates recent public comments by representatives of the BCR who offered full support for increased security measures in and around high-profile events featuring potentially controversial speakers. Let's see. What J. Caesar? Bagel Goose. On April 10th, 2017, the university and UCPD informed BCR for the first time in forever that BCR and YAF would need to pay a security fee in the amount of $5,788 for the Horowitz event to proceed a mere 6 days later. This exorbitant fee, despite the fact that UCPD refuses as a matter of policy to provide actual security by intervening in any violence short of life-threatening bodily harm, and despite the fact that BCR and YAF had agreed to limit attendance to the Horowitz event to students only. Never agree to anything. Always disagree. Except with me. Don't disagree with me. As a result of defendants' actions, BCR was forced to cancel the Horowitz event on April 10th, 2017. The enforcement of the high-profile speaker policy unreasonably restricted the Horowitz event to 1 to 3 p.m. during a time when many students are still in class in the main UC Berkeley campus, and required that the event be relegated to a facility far from the central campus, making it impractical, if not impossible, for most students to attend it in the narrow midday time required by the UC Berkeley administration. Do these people go to class? Why do you go to class in college? Stay home, play video games, and then go watch Horowitz whine about something. The fact that attendance at the event was further limited to students only, that's your fault, created a further conundrum for the organizers. Who would attend their event during peak class time? Me? I would go. Why would you be in class? In addition, the imposition of the significant security fee by defendants on a student group 6 days before an event that few students could now attend thanks to UC Berkeley's vaguely articulated security concerns and an unwritten policy rendered it impractical for BCR to host the event, given all the other requirements imposed by defendants. Accordingly, the Horowitz event was canceled. Bridge, Cal, YAF, and BCR invite Ann Coulter to speak on campus. Bridge Cal is a UC Berkeley chapter for Bridge USA, a national, nonpartisan organization that aims to reinvigorate the practice of open and frank political discussions on university campuses. Basically, I think they're Nazis, according to Berkeley standards, and to challenge people's opinions through exposure to contrary points of view. On or before early March 2017, Bridge Cal, in conjunction with BCR, began planning a speaker series on the topic of illegal immigration. Bridge Cal and BCR hope to engage the student body and the public in a dialogue about the topic of illegal immigration by providing an opportunity for students to engage directly with both liberal and conservative speakers of prominence. Bridge Cal invited Maria Echeveste, a former advisor and White House Deputy Chief of Staff, to provide a liberal viewpoint on that issue. Ms. Echeveste's appearance was confirmed by Bridge Cal on March 17, 2017, and then a venue for her speech was confirmed with the university on March 22, 2017. Bridge Cal sought the assistance of BCR to recruit a conservative speaker to address the same topic within the same month as Ms. Echeveste. As a result of this dialogue between Bridge Cal and BCR, Bridge Cal approached YAF about supporting the event, and having secured the support commitment, invited Ann Coulter to speak on UC Berkeley campus to provide the conservative viewpoint on the topic of illegal immigration as a counterpoint to Ms. Echeveste's remarks. Ann Coulter is an American conservative social and political commentator, 12-time New York... this has to be an announcer voice. Ann Coulter is an American conservative social and political commentator, 12-time New York Times best-selling author, a syndicated columnist, and a lawyer by training. She frequently appears on television, radio, and as a speaker at public and private events, and has described herself as someone who likes to stir up the pot and frequently draws criticism from both liberal and conservative commentators for her polemical views. Weighing in at approximately 93 pounds, coming in at an age of 246,000 years, with bags under her eyes the size of Mike Tyson's fists, Ann Coulter! Sorry, that was cheesy. I apologize. I apologize profusely. On March 17, 2017, Bridge Cal member Ross Irwin, in conjunction with and on behalf of BCR and YAF, emailed UC Berkeley Student Organization Coordinator Miss Cheney, informing the university that we believe we have a 50% chance of Ann Coulter coming to speak in the last week of April. The other week, 50% would be her coming next semester. What do we need to know about security fees, and if there are fees for booking large auditoriums like Pauley? Bridge Cal initiated dialogue with UC Berkeley's administrators about the Coulter speaking event. Coulter event on the same day that Bridge Cal confirmed Miss Echeveste's appearance with Miss Echeveste. A true and correct copy of this email is included Exhibit C. On March 28th, Ms. Coulter formally accepted BridgeCal, BCR, and YAF's invitation to speak at UC Berkeley on April 27th, 2017. As scheduled, Ms. Coulter's presentation was to take place 8 days after Ms. Echeveste's opening of the student-sponsored speaker series on illegal immigration, a topic widespread interest to students and the broader university community. On the same day, March 28th, a BCR member and UC Berkeley student Matt Ronau, copying BCR member Nawid Tamas, emailed Ms. Cheney, the UC Berkeley student organization coordinator, informing the university that BCR would be hosting Ms. Coulter in an on-campus speaking engagement on April 27th during the week initially indicated in BridgeCal's March 17th email. Mr. Ronau also stated that BCR had submitted a request for a room that could fit at least 500 people, indicating that, quote, it would be ideal to have Poly Ballroom or Hertz Hall from 7 to 9 p.m. So just please let me know what we need to do in order to be granted this. A true and correct copy of this email is attached, Exhibit D. Poly Ballroom and Hertz Hall are large, centrally located venues on the UC Berkeley campus that are large enough to accommodate the anticipated interest in the Coulter event. Amy Schumer could also fit inside. Poly, for example, holds up to 999 people, according to the university's online representations, and Hertz Hall holds up to 678 people for events. On March 29th, 2017, BCR and YAF entered into a contract for sponsorship of speaker with Young America's Foundation, obligating YAF to cover minimum $13,000 in costs associated with hosting Ms. Coulter on the UC Berkeley campus, including but not limited to honorarium, transportation, security, and housing costs for Ms. Coulter and her security team. BCR, YAF, and BridgeCal immediately began preparing for the Coulter event, including by seeking to secure a venue and security for the event. Ms. Coulter informed BCR and YAF, which in turn notified defendants that Ms. Coulter would be accompanied by an additional personal security team. They apply the high-profile speaker policy to cancel the Aaron Coulter event. I think this might be the last section I read, and then we'll talk about the results. Because I think we're getting an idea, right? We're getting an idea. And we don't really have to read their legal arguments because they're pretty basic. They're pretty basic. On April 2nd, 2017, BCR contacted UC Berkeley administrators and UCPD to request a meeting to discuss event logistics and security. April 3rd, 2017, BCR representatives met with representatives of the UC Berkeley administration to discuss event logistics and security. April 6th, BCR representatives Jose Diaz, Nawid Tamas, and Brendan West listened to all the white people, those traditional Western European and Northeast European, whitest of the white bread names, like Jose Diaz and Nawid Tamas. Listen to that. What a bunch of racists the college Republicans are. Met UCPD representatives Captain Yale, Lieutenant Harris, and university administrators Miss Cheney and Marissa Reynoso, who, for the first time, disclosed the existence of the unwritten and unpublished high-profile speaker policy. Oops, fire her. And informed BCR that UC Berkeley would be enforcing this policy in connection with the Coulter event. UCPD instructed BCR that the event must conclude by 3 p.m. and that the university and UCPD would select a securable venue on campus. UCPD also informed BCR that if these requirements were not met, the event could not proceed. Think about this. This is something that's interesting. Some of these universities are older than the states that they're in. For example, the University of Minnesota predates the statehood of Minnesota. These institutions have phenomenal power. For instance, UC Berkeley has literally gotten the police department of Berkeley, California, to agree to curfew conservative speakers by 3 p.m. They have gotten them, the university, through pressure of some sort, because you can only do this type of stuff with some sort of power and pressure, have convinced a police department to police one side of the political spectrum. The amount of power that UC Berkeley holds over the town of Berkeley is phenomenally revealed just in this lawsuit. And this is not, of course, limited to UC Berkeley. These institutions are old. They are money. They bring tons of money to the community. If UC Berkeley wasn't there, Berkeley wouldn't matter as much. It wouldn't. That's the interesting thing here. Okay. At the April 6th meeting, UCPD also strongly encouraged BCR and BridgeCal not to publicly disclose where the speech eventually would take place. Don't tell anybody where the speech is. And strongly encouraged the groups to restrict attendance at the event to students only, informing them that the university would impose a higher security fee on the event if non-students were allowed to attend. In response to BridgeCal's specific request that UCPD issue a statement before the event that UCPD would be on hand to protect the safety of students attending the Coulter event so that students would be encouraged to attend, UCPD explicitly declined to do so. Listen, what do you want us to do? Stop crime? What are you thinking? What do you think we are? Stating that the university would not issue any public statement regarding the university's commitment to protecting students from violent protesters at the Coulter event. Had they just told the UC PD that inside each of the protesters was a man with weed, they would have shot all the protesters immediately, right? And then we could have solved that problem. BCR immediately objected to the imposition of the timing and venue constraints of the Coulter event as unreasonable and informed UCPD that because classes would be in session at and before 3 p.m., it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for the event to be held in a sufficiently large room to seat the hundreds of expected attendees, and that holding it during class time would also make it impractical for thousands of students to attend who might otherwise wish to do so. These concerns would be multiplied if the event were also restricted to students only, unlike many other university speaking events, which are open to university affiliates and community members. BCR attempted to negotiate an end time of 5 p.m., 4 hours earlier than they initially requested and approximately 3 hours before the sunset on April 27th, but thought this reasonable request complied with defendants' requirement that the event be held during daytime. It was rejected by defendants without explanation. They were worried that Coulter would raise the dead. On April 10th, 2017, BCR met with UC Berkeley administrators, Ms. Cheney, to discuss event logistics and security and the imposition of the high-profile speaker policy on the April 27th Coulter event. On April 11th, after being informed that the 3 p.m. deadline was non-negotiable, BCR requested a meeting with Berkeley Dean of Students Joseph D. Greenwell to further plead its case and offer to end the event at 4 p.m. on April 27th. Despite making significant scheduling efforts, BCR was never permitted to speak in person with Greenwell. Well, of course not. And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't be, because you guys don't understand how important he is. Instead, Dean Greenwell merely emailed BCR member Nawid Tamas, copying Captain Yao, Lieutenant Harris, Stephen Sutton, and others, expressing that even a 4 p.m. end time would not be permitted, but the 3:30 p.m. end time was confirmed. A true and correct copy of this email with personal contact information redacted is attached as Exhibit E. On April 13th, 2017, BCR representatives Nawid Tamas, Pieter Sittler, and Troy Warden met with a UCPD representative, Lieutenant Harris, and University Administrator Ms. Cheney to discuss the imposition of the university's unreasonable time, place, and manner restrictions on the Ann Coulter speaking engagement. Despite BCR's concession to limit the event to students only and its reasonable request for an only slightly later end time of 5 p.m., UCPD informed BCR that the 3:30 end time was non-negotiable. At the April 13th meeting, Lieutenant Harris expressed that according to UCPD's research into Ms. Coulter and the February activity by the violent demonstrators in connection with the canceled Milo event, Ms. Coulter's speech was likely to spark outrage, giving rise to alleged security threats and justifying the imposition of the curfew. Based on UCPD's representations on multiple occasions in the weeks before the Coulter event, it appears that defendants do not rely on any objective criteria, e.g. anticipated crowd size, past media attention, member of New York Times best-selling books, status as current or former head of state, winning a Nobel Peace Prize, number of campaigns for public office, size of Twitter following, the most important. Number of television viewers during recent appearances, etc., to determine whether an invited speaker is considered high profile. Instead, defendants selectively impose their unwritten, unpublished high profile speaker policy based on their subjective beliefs that the anticipated content of the speaker's speech is likely to spark public outrage. I think this is a thin argument. Coulter, Shapiro, and even Horowitz are basically objectively high-profile speakers. Like, 1, that's why you got them. 2, that's why you paid a speaking fee for them. 3, they're relatively well-known names amongst anyone who follows politics, general politics in the mainstream of the United States. So it's weird that they're doing it with these guys, although it worked. Darking D, what is this clown show? Is this our institutions of higher learning? Is this a real PD? I hope wildfires in this poop hole of a state-run Berkeley, state burn Berkeley to the ground. No such luck, buddy. No such luck. Defendants thereby triggering security concerns and leading to the need to restrict the speaker to securable facility and time of speaking. How much longer is this section? Oh my God. Ooh. Almost there. I think. No, we're not. But guys, I'm getting really tired of reading this document. Getting really tired. Let's go to the results. Now, there is not a... I will look later to see if there's an interesting result for the UC Berkeley. If there's a document on the results. That's the word I'm looking for. If there's a document on the... What is this? Oh my God. I'm just trying to find my window with... Here we go. Trying to find my window with the results. But I would like to look at the actual document at some point. But we can worry about that later. Here we go. Editor. Let's talk about what happened. So they did not go to trial. They didn't go to trial. So let me be very clear. This case does not set legal precedent in any way. There is no authority on this. This decision is, first of all, it was a district court, so the likelihood of it being authoritative is very, very low in the first place. Second of all, as it was settled, it's not appealable. We will not get an authoritative appellate level opinion on this. It will not go up to the Supreme Court. None of that. It's settled. So there is no legal effect. There is no effect on the current understanding of the law in California. And this is, I guess is a federal question, but there's none of that to worry about. Goodness, sorry. Something in my throat. Landon Mack and James says... On Weebstream, I badly want to debate Sriracha, who is best love live girl autism overload. Oh, best love live. That's the anime she liked, right? We'll see. We'll see, buddy. We'll see. What if Democrats don't nominate a crazy person in 2020? Well, they're gonna. But here's the settlement terms. Among other things, there may be other things to the settlement, but pay Young America's Foundation $70,000. $70,000 to the Young America's Foundation. Now, importantly, Berkeley, I think, can easily afford $70,000. It's not a huge expenditure for them to settle this lawsuit. It would probably have cost a lot more for them to go to trial on it, because their lawyers would cost more. And then they'd, of course, risk losing as a public institution. 2, rescind the unconstitutional high-profile speaker policy, so no longer be able to apply that policy in the way that they apply it. Now, they could recreate the high-profile speaker policy and apply it equally. That would be effective. Or publicize what the what the high speaker policy means, like publicize and it has to be facially neutral. That could happen. 3, rescind the viewpoint discriminatory security fee policy. So that's where they're only charging conservatives a security fee. And that's got to go. It's got to go. And I'll talk about this in a minute. And then finally, abolish its Hecklers veto. Protesters will no longer be able to shut down conservative expression. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that. Because if they determine the heckling to be, if they determine the heckling to be terrifying for them or whatever, then they'll have to shut down events that become dangerous. They'll just do that. So who knows how they're going to enforce that? I don't. Whoops. Let's see. Let me, no, here we go. What? No, this one. Here we go. I'll move this. There. Isn't that nice? Put that right smack in the middle. All right. But, so there's no legal precedent to this. Really their whole like thing with the rescinding the Hecklers veto is going to be difficult because if things get dangerous, they're going to cancel events. And that doesn't have to be a policy. The conservative security fee is a big win. Paying money back is a big win. And here's what this ultimately means. But first, a word from our sponsor, Mithrin Emrys. Says, I couldn't beat the guy who couldn't beat Trump, Beto 2020. Yeah, Beta may run in 2020. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see what happens there. But the long and short of this is that, oh my goodness, a liberal organization, granted a public organization, but a proudly and prominently liberal organization like UC Berkeley backed down to the Young America's Foundation and college Republicans. They backed off. They ponied up. They said they were wrong and they're going to fix it. That is monumental. Whether they stick to that or whether they merely revise their policy and come up with some other discriminatory practice remains to be seen. But all of those conservative speakers should offer to go for free. By the way, Shapiro, Coulter, Broke Milo, Horowitz, all of you should drop your speaking fee. Drop your speaking fee or just knock your speaking fee down to cost or whatever in a show of solidarity and show up at Berkeley and pee all over the rugs and stuff, whatever you guys want to do that. Do that. Make them regret this dramatically. Show up, bring down the house, do like the libertarian candidate, get naked on stage, except for you, Ann Coulter. Maybe. I don't know. Never mind the jokes. Gosh, guys, I have too many jokes that are way too spicy in my head. It's not fair. It's not fair. When is UC Berkeley going to apologize for making everybody on Twitter into such giant vaginas that I can't say a funny joke because it might offend a certain group of people or whatever? When is that going to happen? But anyway, they should go. They should go and speak and ruin crowds and cause all sorts of riots. Just do it. Just do it to spit in their stupid faces. Do it for your fellow college Republicans. Maybe one of them can have sex with David Horowitz or whatever. I don't know. At least one won't be a virgin. That's a joke. It's a joke. I like the college Republicans, I guess, as much as I like any college group, which isn't very much. But, yeah. I don't know. So, guys, this is important because, again, they backed down. They got back down because finally someone lawyered up, found a lawyer, found a case, and said, no, this isn't good. And unfortunately, that's where we are. It's where we are. It's where we are everywhere. The Twitter stuff, you're not going to beat the social media companies. You're not going to beat them because they're all protected. So you got to go after the people and make it painful for them. You see Berkeley has a reputation for free speech, and so they've got to uphold it. When they're called out on it, they're going to back down. All these cucks on Twitter, Facebook, wherever they are, shutting people down, deplatforming people, start suing them. Start suing them. We need to find the right cases, right? We need to find the right cases, the right sets of facts. Got to start bringing the hammer down on people who can just barely afford it. You don't want to sue broke people. Never sue a broke person. It's not good for you. It sucks for them, but it's really not good for you because they can't afford to pay you. That means they can't afford to pay your legal fees. Sue the people who can just barely afford it. Sue them, beat them, destroy them, ruin their lives, make them cry or whatever to Twitter and get crowdfunded to pay you. So all the other dummies can end up paying you too. That's fine. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. We've got to stop. We've got to stop. Otherwise, we're going to lose it. That we don't have a Supreme Court protecting us yet. But we start winning lawsuits. We start making this a public problem that happens over and over. And we start ruining lives. We start ruining liberal lives. That starts to get attention. Siren Jag says, speaking of spicy, is this a new trend for the new house? For the first time in a long time, Nick read results in the house that weren't just 2 pink lines. Oh, goodness. Yes. Thank you. Yes. No, there are no pregnancies on this stream right now. Bagel Goose says, Coulter just has to lift up a pant leg to show nip. Yeah. Really. Anne. I think the bags under her eyes hang almost as low as the nipples. Carrie Dalton says, yet 2 hours down the road, Stanford is charging those campus Republicans $19,000 for a security fee for an upcoming Shapiro talk. And the university refused to accept the money from a donor. Has to come from campus Republicans. Why isn't the ADL there personally defending Ben Shapiro? Why aren't they doing that? Drill the law for us. Do you think Berkeley is backing down to keep from having more bad PR and information coming to light through discovery in numerous cases against them? Yes, absolutely. Seriously, though, don't go on J Caesar 187, the content thief stream. I don't know who that is, dude. I don't know who that is. Okay, the drill is requested, I guess, one more time. Here's the drill. Here's my Ann Coulter impression. No, I'm just kidding. Did she drill her own head? I don't think so. I don't know where that even came from. What about Judge Janine Pirro? I don't care about her. I don't care about any of these people. Ralph? What? Anyway. Ethan the Jew Ralph? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going on the kill stream tomorrow, though. Why is he the content thief? Dax, DM me. I am going on the kill stream tomorrow. It's confirmed. I confirmed it with Lady Rackets. So that I'll be on there tomorrow. So I apologize, but I'll be on there. I don't know what anything about this content thief stuff is. I don't know anything about it. So yeah. I don't know what to tell you. But guys, let me just say that I am really glad to be in this new location. Things will be changing behind me as we go. And you'll of course bear witness to that as I finish moving in and get some soundproofing up. I hope the echo wasn't bad. I heard earlier it was not. I'm very glad about that. It's very bad in here. I can hear myself way too much, and I hate it. But we're going to wrap up this stream. I know it's a little shorter than normal, only 2 hours. But I think 2 hours is enough for this thing. We can just revel in the victory a little bit and such. I got to find out how long I'll be on the kill stream tomorrow. I will announce a stream topic and stream time. Okay, I have a potential problem that I have not talked about to the guys. I have scheduled Yellow Flash and Cecil to do a drink stream on Friday. However, I may not be able to do that on Friday because I have bad planning. So I will update you guys and them, Cecil and Yellow Flash. If you see this before I talk to you, I apologize. I'm just realizing this right now in the moment as I was thinking about what's coming this week, that I might not be able to do that stream, at least not at the scheduled time. I will update everybody about that, and I will make an announcement as soon as possible. I do not know what tomorrow or Thursday's topics will be, but I will announce them as they come out. Thank you all for watching. I am vigorously watching. Oh, I do. If you guys are interested, earlier last month, almost over a month ago, Alex Jones filed his response to Matt Fury's ownership of Pepe copyright claim, and I've been dying to cover it because I think the first defense in it is absolutely marvelous, and I want to cover that. Update on Anis Abedin, massacring that name. The guy who is creating the video game that Star Trek is basically stealing or whatever. That's the allegation. He's suing, I think, CBS. He was going to come on this stream sooner rather than later. We were going to have a stream and talk about his lawsuit and talk about everything else. But he's been advised by his lawyers to not go on a stream at this time. So hopefully that means that he will come on when things die down, or when the heat comes down in the case, or when they don't have some important thing going on. I haven't been following the case, and I really want to. So I will at some point be doing a walkthrough of that case prior to him coming on the show. But I'm hoping that he will come on the show. It seemed like it's a possibility, absolutely, other than dirty, disgusting lawyers getting in the way of fun. So that will happen as soon as we can. Heavy Fisted, before you go, is there anything you want or are looking for your law cave? Specifically, no. I don't know of anything other than getting internet into it. I've got some decorations planned for behind me. I'll probably move the camera a little bit so that there's some more coverage of like wall space when that decoration comes in. I don't know of anything else that I would need because of the framing of the shot and stuff like that. But I'm always happy to be surprised. I don't know of anything specific. Yeah. What else is there? But so Anis Abdin, we're going to hopefully talk to him. I had a very good conversation with him on Twitter. But the last thing I want to do is compromise the case of a guy like Anis Abdin. I don't even know if he has a good case or a bad case. I honestly have only seen a couple articles about it. I haven't really read into it. So I don't know anything about the legal arguments. I'm not making any sort of thing, but I don't want an independent creator fighting a massive corporation to come on my show and to cause damage against the against their case. That's the last person. Whether he's right or wrong, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So we'll certainly respect the wishes of him and his lawyer to wait until things are in a better position. And we'll do that interview. I know several people have asked me to talk to him, and we finally connected, and I do want to talk to him. Razor Fist, I have not been able to get a hold of yet, but I'm also going on a trip later, like next week or whatever, and so I don't know. I've got to schedule a time with Razor Fist that'll work out, but I do want to have him on the show as well, and we will complain about everything on Earth, probably at high volume. Finally, I will be, like I said, traveling as an Article 4 free inhabitant next week. And so I don't know what the live stream schedule will look like. I am bringing a computer with me, and hopefully we'll have sufficient internet to stream. I don't want to take a week off. I really don't. But if I have to, I will. But I will let you guys know what's going on. Stream.me today. Not today, but I'm going to be incorporating a multicast of this to Stream Me on every single show. Will be on Stream Me as well as YouTube. But then the extra spicy ones will just be on Stream Me. And I need to come up with another topic for that, and I will do so as soon as I can. But just with the move and the upcoming trip and the children and the screaming and the whining, I have not been able to do that. But it is coming, and I apologize for the slowness of the Stream Me specific videos, but they will show up very soon as we get things worked out. All right, guys. You are being detained. You don't need to bother Razor Fist. He and I will make the connection. He's already said he'd love to come on the show public on his Twitter. So I will make the connection when it's appropriate. But if you get him to talk to me today, I can't schedule anything for 2 weeks or whatever. So finally, I will be on the kill stream tomorrow. I think starting at 10:20 Central, 9:20 Central, 9:20 Central or so. I'll be there. I think the show starts at 9:05 Central. So go ahead and check that out. And I will announce if I will be having a stream following the kill stream. I don't know how long I'm supposed to be on there. I got to work that out with Ralph and see what we want to talk about. I don't know the topics yet, but we'll figure that out. Anyways, guys, get out of here. Go watch Legal Eagle or something. Call him a cuck or something. I don't know. Don't do that. He seems like a nice guy. He's not ready for the internet. I'm just kidding. So I'm entirely making fun. All right, guys. Love you all. I'm going to blank out the stream before I keep rambling, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.